The number of confirmed cases of swine flu has topped over 100,000 now, with the World Health Organization calling the pandemic unstoppable and suggesting mass vaccination. But are we actually fighting a man-made tragedy? Some are asking. Investigative journalist and IT contributor Wayne Madsen's in Washington to tell us more about claims that the virus began life in a lab. Mr. Madsen, afternoon to you. Now, the World Health Organization, we're hearing, is looking into claims that this virus could have been created in a lab, possibly in some sort of vaccine development that may have got out, may have gone wrong. What else do we know?
What we know, of course, is that there have been laboratories, especially at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, that were involved in this, what I call the Jurassic Park development of this particular flu. The 1918 flu, called the Spanish flu, was extracted from the corpse of a dead Inuit woman who died of the disease in Brevig Mission, Alaska, a small Inuit village, and it was recombined with combined with other forms of flu to create this particular H1N1 that's been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. Now, it's interesting to note that a company called FluGen, which is associated with this research at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, is now developing a vaccine. I think what we see with Baxter International, FluGen, and other companies developing a vaccine, when some of these companies were involved in the research on this particular form of flu, people are a little bit skeptical about the profit motivation here.
Well, wherever it's come from, mass vaccinations are being called for. The last time, of course, in the US that happened was in, what, 1976, wasn't it? Then it caused more deaths than the disease itself. How is the government trying to reassure Americans that that isn't going to happen again?
Well, they're not able to reassure the American public because one thing the American public is very skeptical about after the corporate malfeasance on Wall Street is these large, big pharma firms, SmithKline, Baxter, Aventis, FluGen, and the others offering up these vaccines. We do know that Baxter International sent out live avian virus with a vaccine that was sent to about 10 different countries, including the Czech Republic, Slovenia, and Germany. So there's a lot of skepticism here. If any of these vaccination programs are forced on the public, I think the American people are going to react quite negatively to it.
Now, just standing back from this a little bit, you're a journalist, you like a good story like other journalists, of course, like to get their teeth into, but just standing back from it, not belittling at all any of the, 700 swine flu deaths so far that have been confirmed worldwide. We've got to remember, of course, that seasonal flu this time of year affects about 500,000. Isn't this really a tendency towards overreacting?
Well, I think the concerns by people I've spoken to in the research community, including those with the World Health Organization, is the fact that this particular hybrid flu that it's being called, or novel flu, by the Centers for Disease Control here in the United States, contains two forms of human flu, two forms of swine flu, and one form of avian flu that looks like it was basically put together through a combination in a laboratory. Also of concern is the rate of transmission. I was told in May that in a couple of months this flu would be present in almost every country in the world, and so far that seems to be holding true, that prediction. Now we see it spreading through Africa, and 100 deaths in just New Zealand alone from this particular flu. So I think there are reasons for real concern here, and I think that's what the World Health Organization is looking into right now, and there are other journalists who suspect there may be other things at play here, including big pharma trying to capitalize on this pandemic and try to make money off of a vaccine that may not even be safe.
Okay, well, Wayne Madsen, investigative journalist, RT contributor, bringing us up to date with your thoughts from Washington, D.C. Thank you for taking part in the program today.